position when I stood here last year was we were able to identify some needs and some concerns on the team. So we were obviously in a more educational perspective in terms of what we wanted to go get. Speaking of what we thought were needs and that needed to be assessed in this recruiting class, I'll start with defense. We were obviously small up front, so we feel like we addressed that appropriately. Let me say this first and foremost. We are not finished recruiting. We still got some more guys we're going to sign. We've got some guys that we expect to send in their scholarships that have not arrived yet. So the recruiting class is a bit bigger. But we knew we needed to get bigger up front. So we thought we went out and signed some bigger guys for the defensive line. You can never have enough linebackers. They're our special teams guys. So we went out and signed some linebackers. We lost our two starting safeties in Hunter and Asbury last year. So obviously that was a needed concern. And we felt like we went out and got some corners that could help us in the recruiting class. Offensively, we graduated 4 senior offensive linemen. So obviously that was a need. Justin Babb started tailback for a long time here. He's graduated, and we felt like we needed to address the tailback position. Wide receivers, you can never have enough of them. So we felt like we needed to go out and address some of those needs and concerns. Obviously, guys, we were 1-10, so there were concerns aplenty. But we felt like as a recruiting class, that Savannah State University became a better football team with this recruiting class and the guys that we're going to sign in the future. Let me go down the list. I don't have them in any particular order except for alphabetical, and I'll talk briefly about them. And then, like Mr. Mashariki said, we can open the floor for Q&A. Darius Allison's a kid we got out of junior college. Will play strong safety, outside linebacker for us, athletic kid, physical kid. We look for Darius to play immediately. Like most JUCO kids, you don't sign him to come and watch. The kid's been working hard, and we think he's going to be a tremendous leader on the field, but he's been a tremendous leader off the field. There's already in school. He's a mid-year signee for us, and we're looking for big things from Mr. Allison. Travian Ashford, the linebacker out of Etowah High School up in Kennesaw. We think he's going to be in that same mold as Mr. Allison, outside linebacker, strong safety type. In our scheme, they're basically the same people, and we feel like Mr. Ashford's going to have a tremendous career. William Broadbent obviously addresses that concern. He's 6'1", 295. We talked about getting bigger up front. He obviously addresses that concern for us. He's a freshman out of San Antonio, Texas. Caleb Freeman's a kid that's already in school, mid-year signing out of Georgia Military, offensive lineman. We expect him to start immediately and bolster up what we've got to replace in those 4 guys that we lost. Percy Griffin, the kid we stole out of Tallahassee, 6'3", 300-pound kid. He's got tremendous upside. We expect him to contribute immediately. It was a good gift for us to get Percy. Roosevelt Ison, 6'4" wide receiver out of Augusta, Georgia. Tremendously talented kid. We expect to be able to throw him the rock next year as well. Most of these kids we expect to play next year, but obviously they've got to come in and earn it. Ronald Johnson, another defensive lineman that provides size for us. He's 6'3", 310-pound kid. Going to provide tremendous style up front. If you saw us last year, we felt like we got pushed around in some games up front, and we really wanted to address that issue. Ronald Johnson started his career at Jacksonville State, went to JUCO after that, and we were lucky and fortunate to get him. Chris Jones, 6'5", 330-pound defensive lineman from Jacksonville, Florida, was a University of Illinois transfer. Once again, tremendous expectations for Mr. Jones, and we expect him to come in here and handle his business as well. He's been a tremendous leader. He's another mid-year signee that's already on campus and has provided some leadership for us. Javon Moore, another JUCO kid, another mid-year signee. He's already on campus. 6'2", 170-pound corner, athletic. Obviously, the 6'2" at corner with the bigger receivers is important in these times. We think Javon's going to have a tremendous career here at Savannah State. Isaiah Neer, a running back out of University of Cincinnati, transfer, already on campus, mid-year guy. Like I said, we lost Babb, and we've got to fill that hole, and then we brought a couple kids in, a couple older kids that we think will add tremendous benefits to the team immediately. Leon Prunty, quarterback out of Stockbridge, Georgia, 6'4", 220-pound kid. Obviously, he's got great size. He's going to come in here and contribute. In today's football, you got to have 3 and 4 quarterbacks. I mean, concussion puts a guy down for 3 weeks. So you've got to have an abundance of quarterbacks. So we felt like we addressed that as a concern, not only with Leon, but we'll talk about Hunter in a moment. Keymon Sanders, 6'4", 300-pound kid out of Alabama. Another kid that, like I said, once again, concern of offensive line. We think Keymon's going to address that concern. We're looking for him to come in here and play immediately. Marquise Smith, maybe the most athletic kid that we signed. He's 6'4", 220, 120-pound inside linebacker, outside guy, can run, is physical at contact. We feel really, really fortunate to get Marquise, a kid we got on late in the process, and we're really, really fortunate to get it. Somali Smith, cornerback out of Birmingham. Those of you who know me know I spent some time in Birmingham. I was familiar with Somali, recruited him to go to UAB, lost out to Troy. He left Troy, went to JUCO, got back in contact with him, able to get him. He ran 4.36 at UAB's camp. He was a junior in high school at the time, so I hope he hadn't lost that speed. We feel good about getting Somali, looking for him to bolster up that cornerback spot for us. Dominique Stallworth, 6'5", 290 out of Brunswick, right down the road here out of Brunswick High School. Tried to recruit Dominique early in the process, was committed to East Carolina for quite some time. Once again, we feel fortunate to get him. The size is an obvious standout for us, and we expect Dominique to come in here and compete immediately. Jacob Thomas, safety out of Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson Olin, Birmingham. We expect him to come in and compete at safety, but he also provides a needed boost for us as a punter. So he'll get an opportunity to not only compete in the secondary, but he'll compete at punter as well. Hunter Vaughn's kid we got out of Robertsdale, right outside of Mobile, Alabama. He's already in school, mid-year signee, has shown tremendous leadership. As I drove around campus today, they were out throwing the ball, and Hunter was leading the way for a true freshman to come in here and be the leader of the team already. It speaks of what we expect from Hunter Vaughn. Once again, he's going to compete for the starting quarterback job. And once again, you got to have your 3 or 4 guys ready to roll. And that was our thought process in signing 2 quarterbacks in this recruiting class, especially 2 freshmen. And then John L. Wortham, running back, transferred, 6'2", 220-pound physical running back, junior college kid. We expect big things from John A. He's a bigger guy, can play some fullback, can play some tailback, explosive runner, and we're expecting big things out of John L. as well. We feel like the class on paper, guys who have already turned in there, scholarships are pretty good. We think the 3 or 4 more that we're expecting are going to boost that even tremendously more. And then we've got to get out on the road and recruit some more. We've got about 5 or 6 more scholarships that we're going to try and seek and fill. Recruiting is far from done at Savannah State, but we think we're off to one tremendous start. I'll open the door for questions.